Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Today I would like to share with you, this is a thought-provoking session in which we would discuss the poet of the East has talked about teenagers as Shaheen. He addresses them as Tu Shahi hai, parwaaz hai kaam tera. When we move on streets and roads, we see a lot of teenagers and they are doing one-wheeling. Most of you must have seen them, and we wonder who these people are. Why do they do so? And what is the problem with them? Scientists have attempted to investigate these questions, and they have investigated the questions like why do teenagers do what they do? What makes them so thrill-loving and risk-taking? And why do they seek the so-called excitement and thrill? What is the problem with them? They have discovered that the problem lies in the mind. Actually, at that stage, in those years, from 12 to 25 years of age, they took some young people in 1990s and National Institute of Health Project studied them, and they found out that during that age, there's a massive reassembling and organization going on in their minds that makes them so thrill-loving, risk-taking. They are always open to something new. They are always looking for some unusual thing or unexpected thing. There's always a desire to be the best among the peer. These are the key traits of teenagers that distinguishes them, and the poet of the East addresses the youth and talks of them as risk-takers, thrill-lovers, sensation hunters, and calls them the Shaheen. That's the bird eagle. नहीं तेरा नशेमन कसरे सुल्तानी के गुंबद पर, तू शाही है बसेरा कर पहाड़ों की चट्टानों पर. शाही कभी परवाज से थककर नहीं गिरता, पुरदम है अगर तू तो नहीं खतरे उफ्ताद. परवाज है दोनों किसी एक फिजा में, किर्गिस का जहां और है शाही का जहां और. Kyrgyz is a bird vulture and Shaheen is a brave, courageous bird. Kyrgyz makes his victim as a dead, and Shaheen always attacks on a live enemy, live prey. But the poet of the East says, अफसोस सद अफसोस के शाही न बना तू, देखी न तेरी आँख ने फितरत के इशारात. उकाबी रूह जब बेदार होती है नौजवानों में, नज़र आती है उसको अपनी मंजिल आसमानों में. He calls the youth that they should provoke in them, they should have an inspiration from the eagle, and they should always have a high vision. They should always aim high, and they should always look towards the sky. Let's see what are the unique traits of the bird eagle. In ancient literature and many biblical writings, they speak very positively of the eagle because eagle is a bird of strength, eagle is a symbol of war, and eagle was a symbol of imperial power since Babylonian times. Eagle are a symbol of beauty, bravery, courage, honor, pride, and determination. They exhibit power, freedom, and grace. Eagles subsist mainly on live prey, and they are too ponderous for effective aerial pursuit, but try to surprise and overwhelm their prey on the ground. In many of the videos you must have watched eagle, and it always surprises its victim. It always takes its prey by surprise, and it captures it and it grasps it so powerfully that they are not able to free themselves. Also, it's a unique quality of eagle that it can see from a very height. For example, there was a video in which I watched that an eagle was capturing a rabbit, and it could spot it from over 2 miles of a distance. An eagle never surrenders to the size or strength of its prey, and it is always gives a fight to win its prey. When there's a storm, all the other birds fly away and they fear it, but it's only the eagle who is mighty enough, who is powerful enough that it soars on greater heights. The eagle takes advantage of the very storm that lesser birds fear and head for cover. Eagles can fly up to an altitude of around 10,000 feet, but they are able to swiftly land on the ground, and no other bird can do this. Also, research has shown that it is very, very gentle and very kind to its young one from all the members of the bird family. So, what we are discussing are the traits of eagle. Eagle has strength, it has determination, it's fearlessness, it is opportunistic, it always aims high, it's very kind and caring, always takes a risk, and is excellent in its flight. Here is a direction for all those thrill lovers and sensation seekers. Use your thrill, excitement, risk taking to achieve the strength, determination, and excellence. Because you, teenager, are the Shaheen that the poet of East, Allama Iqbal, addresses. The big idea, the big picture, youth can achieve. There are many examples that we have, many people, great scientists, great researchers, big people who have always achieved what they wanted, and they were very young at their age. The Wright brothers, Thomas Edison, Madame Curie, many of them. The great Sultan Salahuddin Ayyubi, Muhammad bin Qasim, they were only 18 years old then when they conquered Sindh and Palestine. Sayyid Abul Ala Maududi was only, Rahmatullah Alayh, was only 18 years old when he wrote such a big book and such a contribution, scholarly book. And people know that they were very young and they spent their time, they spent their lives struggling and doing something good for their society. What the one thing as youth we need to understand, we can achieve. We are capable of a lot more than we actually do in our real lives. How can youth achieve? One great researcher, Ibrahim Maslow, studied the personalities of great achievers, and he developed the idea that people who are able to think beyond their basic needs, discover themselves, and do something for the benefit of their fellow men, they are the highest achievers. We are all human beings. Then we reach a stage called self-actualization. After self-actualization, we contribute to the society, and this contribution is the thing that makes us happy. So happiness schema goes, if you deliberately plan on being less than you are capable of being, then he says, I warn you that you will be unhappy for the rest of your life. So our contribution to the society is what wins us happiness. How can we contribute to the society? Every small step that we make can make a difference. We always begin small. We have to focus on learning. The more we learn, the more you learn, the more you can contribute. Learning also happens through books. It also happens through keen observations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's word. A knowledge of human psychology, language, Quran and geography will help you find ways to contribute. Here are some activities that you can plan with your friends. I start a street cleanup day with a barbecue party. Let's clean up our community. Tree plantation campaigns. Have a My Inspiration Facebook page. You can develop a digital library. Read to a child a day. Take a young kid to mosque campaign. So, any numerous things that you can think of to utilize your time to contribute to the society, always do it. Some of us can talk well, speak well, they can communicate to the people by their speech. Some of us can write well, they can contribute by writing. We can write blogs, we can write on pages, we can write to the editors. We see something bad going on, we should stop it. And the lesser level of Iman is to just think of it being bad in heart. We have to stop it with our tongue. We have to stop it with our hands. So we should always do something that can stop it. Also, after Fajr morning walk, we can water the trees and have a yummy breakfast. Now we are always, teenagers are always planning some sort of party. So we can utilize them in a positive way. We can have nature photography. We can develop pages on youth contribution that focus on, rather than the pages that are only posting their pictures here and there and just making fun and love and excitement, all that. So we can have a contribution notebook. We can share our ideas. Throughout your life, one thing you have to do is to keep a constant check on yourself. Whatever we are doing in our life, we are always accountable for it. Whatever positive or negative, we have to stand in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we have to be accountable for every deed. So we always have to remember that whatever good we do in life, we have to do it faithfully. We have to do it not for worldly gains, we have to do it for eternal pleasure and success. Put all your energy, contribution and hard work and energy and hard work into whatever you do, and believe me, this would be an automatic contribution to the society. Islam always associates success and contribution, and in Islam you see Surah Asr, the message of Suratul Asr is that time is passing by and all the people are passing by and the time is going on, and khusr, Quran says a loss, a great loss. Everybody is at a loss except for those people who believe, who take the task of doing these four things. One, they believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the day of judgment. Second, they change themselves accordingly and they start doing some great deeds, good deeds, amalus salihat. Then they always preach others to do the good deed, and then whenever troubles come, watawasau bis sabr, they deal it with patience, and they also preach it amongst their peer that we have to deal with patience. So every good deed that we do goes on. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala writes those good deeds and everything is written. So in our world, success means having some good luxurious life, having good mobile phones, having some bank balance, having some great status, going to some good posts. But in Allah's eyes, success and contribution is done by the people who do these four jobs. This is a message of Al-Asr, and the idea has been elaborated in numerous places in the Holy Quran. In Ahadith, we find Khairun Nas, Mayyan Faun Nas, the best among people is the one who benefits other people. Some source of inspiration by some great people: don't give up. Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is always to try just one more time. Try again, and then you would succeed. Also, many people in life, by Thomas Edison says, many people in life's failure are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. So we don't have to give up. If we do something for our world, for this world, it would end. And if we do something for the life thereafter to come, and we should not think that we would give up this task and we cannot do this task. We have to take up a task and leave it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah would guide us towards success. Nelson Mandela once said, there is no passion to be found playing small in settling for a life that is lesser than the one you are capable of living. So, as youth, we are capable of doing many things that we think are impossible, but nothing is impossible. We can achieve everything. However, beware of this virus. This is a love, life, living virus that exists here and there in our environment. It tells us, bring out the idol in you. Come and participate in the competition. Happy Valentine's Day. Let's celebrate Valentine. Wow, Basant Festival. Wow, concerts. This is a life. We have got this only once. Let's enjoy it properly. We as Muslims know that we are not here to enjoy our lives. We are here to make our lives useful, so that when we go in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tomorrow, we can say that we did something that was asked by you, Allah. And Ameen. Inshallah, Allah would make us so. This love, life, living virus attacks the mental and physical abilities of youth and makes them useless. It manifests itself as a lifestyle, as an activities, and we think that it brings us happiness. That's not happiness. Our message to you is that you have the power, don't waste it. Dream big, aim high, live the Shaheen way. Thank you so much. Jazakumullah khair wa ahsanul jaza.